Day in the life as a personal chef in the Hamptons. Today we are doing dinner for 17 people. So I got in and started on my baked items. This is always my go-to process, and if you've been following along, you know that by now. So I did my olive oil cake for dessert and made some lemon pastry cream. You may be seeing a trend within my desserts. I usually structure it with a cake, a pastry cream, a cookie, and then something like an ice cream or a sorbet. I did make my focaccia dough before I got to my client, so when I got in, I baked it off. Half of it was tomato, the other half was rosemary and garlic. Once the focaccia was in the oven, I moved into my proteins, so I marinated some chicken and then diced up my tuna for tuna tartare. I did a lot more prep items, but unfortunately it was just kind of chaotic on my end, so I didn't really get as much footage of the prep. But here's the plating part. When the guests arrive, I put out a crudité with a dill dip for the bar, and then for the table I started plating my focaccia and butter and then little charcuterie and cheese plates. So we dropped the bread and butter and the charcuterie plates just to have as a little snack. Then I plated my tuna tartare. I didn't have a ring mold that was big enough, so I actually cut one of my quart containers to make the mold. I dressed this with a sesame ponzu dressing and then had tortilla chips on the side. After the tartare went out, I plated the entrees. So we have a peach and burrata salad. Here we have our chicken that I made with a roasted red pepper chimichurri. Also did a bunch of grilled vegetables with a sherry Dijon vinaigrette. Here's the pesto shrimp with corn and tomato salad. I grilled these shrimp with pesto and then tossed them back in pesto after they came off the grill. And then this season's most popular dish, the spicy rigatoni with garlic breadcrumb. And then after that, for dessert, we have the olive oil cake with the lemon pastry cream, fresh berries, shortbread cookie crumb, and then raspberry sorbet. I helped out with some cleanup, and that was everything. Okay, see you next time.